Hey everybody, welcome to Tea Time with Amy and Bev. Good day. So,
Good day.
how's it going? What are you up
It's
to?
going good. It's go. It's fulfilling. Life. I'll take some of your words. Life is fulfilling, right? I've
Sure.
enjoyed being a kid for the last couple of days and need to slow down for a few minutes because I haven't notified the 55-year-old, almost 55-year-old carcass that it's 55. And it's like, I mean, I can run around. I chase, run behind the kids and everything else. They slam on their brakes. I slam on my brakes, almost killing myself. But it's like, so I have a good time.
Nice. That's
Yeah,
exciting.
it is exciting. It's just being a kid, right? Because I don't know what that looks like. So if they're always the boss of the games, then I'm like, what are we doing now? We're playing with cars. We're going to run off and go, someone's robbing a mall. We have to take care of it. Oh, we need to take them to the hospital. Like there's always millions of things that are going on. He's, the kids are sweet.
All the scenarios.
All of them. All the way down to the 1 year old. So the 1 year old that looks like he's almost three, and he was running the whole time, during the game last night, and it's windy outside, it was a little chilly. So it's just been kind of fun. It's been fulfilling.
Good. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. How about yours?
Fulfilling as always. That is the key word tonight, I suppose. Uh just still have a lot of moving pieces going on. We're in the middle of about 5 different events right now at work that we're planning and strategizing and organizing and all the things. And then um, my own life, my life outside of work. So, and I thought about it because I think about it often. I think we've talked about this before. If somebody was to ask me if I had a hobby, the answer is no, I don't. I enjoy what I do. So it's when I say it's fulfilling, it's true. In my work, I'm contributing to the community and businesses, providing avenues for businesses and like pop small businesses to participate in the events, promoting businesses, making connections. So it's all community related. And then in my business, it's the healing process. It's helping people in a different way, more on the emotional and mental avenue. And it's, I enjoy all of it. It, I have been working since I was 16. And I would say every job I've had either didn't like it or I didn't like it and it was super stressful. Or I liked the job, but I didn't like the people, right? Any and all of that combination in all of these years. I've been at this job for a year or a little over a year and a half.
Wow.
I can't say that I don't like anybody I work with. It's just like that is not something that comes to mind. I go to work, I work all day, very little stress. There's deadlines, there's things we have to meet. Everybody gets along. For the most part, the businesses that we encounter are a good relationship. And when I leave work, I I think I feel it more in my body just because I'm sitting at a computer all day. So I'm kind of hunched over a little bit too much for too long. But other than that, it's nothing I do really. If I really think about it, nothing I do is stressful.
Nice. But you created that. This is the world you
That's right.
created.
It's true.
100%.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you had all these experiences that helped you narrow down. I mean, if we're going to work, it might as well be something that you're thriving on and you have passion about and you love. I mean, it's the whole organizational thing. And it's like, it's such a benefit to you because we really never, ever, I mean, maybe sometimes we do know what our path is, but I think our path is constantly evolving. So there's no way that you're ever going to know because it's like you learn all these skills that you've learned and you fine tune them. And I mean, you're helping to do all kinds of things. It can be beneficial for you in your personal business in all aspects. I feel like everything that you're doing, I feel like is actually for that. And it's the opportunities that have been presented to you because these are the things that you wanted, and you bravely did it. I can't believe it's been a year and a half.
Yeah,
You did.
over a year and a half. And I think that too. I'm like, really? Wait, really? Because it doesn't even, it went by so fast.
Yeah.
And I have to say the other thing, I have quite a bit of debt. And this was one of the things I wanted to bring up too today because I think it really hit me. It hit me not as bad as a throat punch, but it really got my attention when I heard the words.
Gotcha.
I was guided to a new podcaster. His name's Anthony O'Neill,
Okay.
and he talks about finances. And his main target is the African American genre, right? That's his that's who he speaks to. And but listening to him, one of the things he said was, if you are in debt, you are not the one sitting at the head of your table. He said the people you owe the money to are sitting at the head of your table. And I was like, damn, that hearing it in those words. Now, mind you, for a while, I have been diligently focused and doing really well at focusing on getting things paid off and getting the balances and getting the credit rating up and all the things. And but when I heard him say that, it made me want to get it done even quicker. And then I have to tell myself, patience, because the money's not in the account yet. So patience, to stick with your plan. You're doing good. This is just a validation of where you're headed. And I actually, even with having all that I owe, that I look forward to payday. I'm like, ooh, we get paid on Friday. I get to sit and do my bills and pay my bed. Like, I get excited about that now.
Exactly. And I would just remind you, not that you need to be reminded, but your focus has been on the numbers. And it's good to kind of have an idea because that does kind of have like a resonance to it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But it also lets you know this is another place where my energy is going out to.
Yeah.
Because it's a story for myself too. And that's been my goal now. It's just I'm paying my stuff. Like it's going to be done. Period. I know how it got there. I know how I got it there, and it will be taken care of. And
Yeah.
it's like, so in the meantime, that's what I do. So that's what, a lot of the stuff that comes in is what goes out to the stuff that I created. And so it's just to be in that space of recognizing I have an opportunity to be taking control of things instead of giving my control away, because I have been giving my control away. And it is so easy to get into that place of, well, I'm paying out this because I did this or whatever. But if we get into that place, we're not really, we're like, I mean, I can go down the victim place pretty quick and, have that whole experience again, which I don't really care for. So it's like I just keep my head up, right? Keep floating. I don't even feel like I'm floating anymore. I feel like I'm coasting a bit more because I noticed kind of like what you've talked about in the past, I haven't done the whole number thing, like having a number each month to kind of look forward to, but I like it. And I just haven't done anything with it. There's a few things I haven't done lately. I just, it's so easy to spread yourself a bit thin into all type of facets, right? Not having that balance and harmony with everything. And certainly is a process, but in the meantime, I enjoy everything that as much as I possibly can. But I do recognize exactly what you said, because it really kind of did hit home, that's just another one of those areas that we give away our power. We don't even realize that we're doing it. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and get this because I know that I can pay it back because I do that. I've done this. I know I can pay it back. I can do it within just a couple of days of a massage, but it's like, then things happen. And
Yeah.
things that you don't even plan on. Next thing you know, kids need pictures, or they need, it's a holiday, or it's a whatever. It just seems like there's things that kind of come up like that. And it's like, well, I'm just gonna do this real quick and I'll get it paid off. Well, I see how quick some of my stuff gets paid off. And so I can't continue telling myself that story. So I like that you bring up this other gentleman that's talking about this stuff. Because it's important. We don't know until we know. We just don't. It's the same thing with the relationships with anything, right? Really, everything is these relationships. If we didn't have people that were growing up around us, raising us with these ideals, where we want to be, so we don't have them, so we have to go searching for it. Again, I feel like that's still taking our power back because we're recognizing where is our power going to. So there's a lot of stuff there.
And then of course, when I hear something like that, I go into thought and I go into deeper thought about things. And shortly after that, I saw some social media posts about people still, they're always pointing the finger at the millionaires and billionaires, multi whatever, right? The wealthy, the rich. They need to pay more taxes. They need to pay more tax. And it's just a constant focus on that. And there's also been conversations or judgment of when somebody comes into money in whatever way that might be. It could be an inheritance, could be the lottery, who knows, right? But they come into money. They gotta figure themselves out when they receive that kind of money. I mean, when you're talking large sums and they're not used to having, they gotta kind of figure things out. But the judgment that other people place on, oh, they got into money now, they think they're so right. It's just this. Anyway, that my mentor taught me, and we've heard it from Abraham Hicks and other teachers, bless that which you want to receive. So I was taking that and I'm thinking, okay, we got all these people, this population that are moaning and groaning that the rich don't pay enough in taxes. And then you got this other side, so they bless that which you want to receive. And then I got this other person saying, you ain't at the head of your table if you owe any debt. If you are not in charge of your finances, you are not at the head of your table. So now I got these three pieces that I'm mulling over. Like, I don't sit and just be like, oh my God, I gotta figure it. I just mull it over. I just let it kind of formulate and come to me. And I'm like, I can sit here being in debt and I can bitch and moan about how the wealthy don't pay enough in taxes. That is not going to change my situation.
100%. I was thinking the same thing. 100%.
It's not going to change they are living their life. They're living their life. They learned how to do it, or the family members before them learned how to do it and they got the inheritance. It doesn't matter. The fact that somebody figured out how to get large sums of money into their account, whether it's an account in the United States or an offshore account or however they have their funds, that is none of my business. But the fact that they learned how to do it, good for them. And that's where the bless that which you want to receive. Good for them. They paved the way. It's no different than us being on a healing journey. We learned what to do. We're in a better space than we were 10, 20, 30 years ago. And now we're sharing that information. And then the people who are in that dark space that we used to be in, and they're watching us and being like, well, who do they think they are teaching this stuff? Look at that. Their life must be all roses and blah, blah, blah. Same. It's the same. Nothing is going to change till you change it. And you can point your finger and judge people all you want. Your situation is going to remain the same. And the fact that you're putting all that time and energy and focus on people that don't even know your name, they don't even know you exist. Why don't you turn that time, energy, and attention into you and get yourself situated in your finances, in your life, in your health, in your relationships, and figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's so many people that are out there, just like on YouTube, that can talk to you about money. They can talk to you about relationships. They can tell you what to look like. They can, or look like, what things could look like. They can tell you how to raise your children or give you different examples. And that's the whole process. It's not that everything that we find on there is 100% we're going to resonate with, but we find so much other information on there that we can take bits and pieces, which is kind of what you're doing with all this information that you've received, and you're processing all of it. And that's the same thing that we do when we hear someone new that's talking about the best way to raise a child. This is how I talk to them. This is what I do. Everything's there, right now. And so if anyone's sitting here watching this right now and they're having any kind of struggle with anything, it's up to you to start looking for more information. And because that information could be like, you might all of a sudden flip a switch in your mind and be like, oh my God, I never thought about this.
That's right.
Until you started opening up those doors. Because you've listened to a lot of people that are wealthy mindset and a lot of that kind of stuff. And they're teaching because that's what they're experiencing, or they have experienced. We're experiencing things, and we're just teaching what's worked for us. And so it's like, hopefully someone else is grabbing those bits and pieces and taking and making whatever it is for them that's going to make their life more in balance and more in harmony.
And every one of those people that are teaching, genuinely teaching and showing you a path, it's because they experienced it. It's because they struggled in some form, whether it's relationship, finances, health, or career. They struggled in some way for them to figure it out, be well off, and whatever that means for them, and then go teach it. It's the same thing we're doing every week that we show up. This is what you just said. This is what we've been working on, and we're going to share it with you. And if it works with you or resonates with you, great. If it don't, that's okay.
Yeah.
And it's free. Like, all the information out there is free.
100%.
If you want to deeper dive with somebody, like I'm a coach, if you want to deeper dive with me, great. Let's schedule something and move forward. If you want to work with Bev, great. Connect with her and move forward. If you find somebody else that resonates with you in your healing journey, your finances, your career, or whatever it might be, great. Move forward. You can't expect to have something different if you're staying and stirring in the mud and not moving anywhere.
Yeah. You're not gathering any new information, right? No new information, which is so important that we're having this conversation, because I have never stopped to look at a lot of these people how they handle their money. I know a lot of people that have money, they don't think, their process isn't thinking, okay, I just got to make it through this week. Just got to make it through the next payday. I just got to make it through this. They don't think that way. That's the way I have thought.
Yeah.
They don't, but that's the way that I was raised. My mom worked 3 part-time jobs, raising 2 girls and paying for a home. And, she'd come home and sell our microwave, whatever, just to make ends meet. And so that was my tools that I grew up with. And I have not ever, that I can remember, gone and watched somebody else, besides like The Secret or that kind of stuff, how it kind of planted The Secret did help me a lot. It changed my mindset in a lot of ways, but that's only one piece of it, right? There's a lot of factors that go along, a lot of different things that happen. And I can't say that I have never looked up that information, but I haven't looked it up into the process that we're just talking right now. So I love how spirit shows up and it's given me different ideas, which also lets me know that when this kind of information comes forward, it resonates with me 100%, because even what you said, when you come into a lump sum of money, I don't know what's going to happen, but it's part of the process in order for me to be able to feel good about that money that's coming in. Because I feel like I do have some knowings, but not knowing, right? Not knowing when or how it's going to happen. I just had a raven kind of drop down and fly right from the window almost. But it's like I haven't really explored a lot of that stuff, but it's empowering to know that there's information out there. And it's like, I feel like spirit is always a step ahead of us, always. And we may feel like we get stuck or stagnant on something, or we could talk about getting our bills paid and all that stuff. But there's such a bigger picture, and we're being trained this whole time. We're being trained and shown different things. This whole conversation is so funny how everything's kind of tied together. But even like you doing all the stuff that you did prior to going to your job, and all that stuff you did prior to going to your job was something that was very useful for your job. But it was also very useful for something else. And now who knows what else it's going to go into, because as AI changes and as everything else changes, then your formats and the way you do things are going to change. The way I do things are going to change. So it's just fascinating, but it's to be open and recognize when you're hearing this information, it's not saying that there's something wrong with you. It's just saying the universe is like saying, hey, Amy, Bev, something better is coming your way. But if you go look at this stuff, it's going to help you be able to manage what's coming your way, because otherwise it would be a bit overwhelming. It could be a bit scary. And then I've been the opposite side of that, you know, like very careful. And then, you know, careful, but not investing. And that's the difference between someone that has money, because they take that money, they're figuring out how is that money going to make them more money. So they're always, their processes are differently seen
That's,
differently and they're experienced differently.
it's funny you said that because I'm doing my taxes, right? Getting the paperwork together. And I'm like, okay, because I saw like how much taxes were taken out of our through last year from our income. I'm like, man, so this is how much I have changed in my mindset. And it cracks me up because I was like, okay, they took several thousands of dollars over the last year for taxes. So I made a note when I talked to my CPA who does our taxes to ask him, which I already did, and I'll tell you the answer. But I made a note. I'm like, okay, see if you can go tax exempt, invest that money, and then when you file your taxes, pay what you owe. That was my note to myself to ask. So got on the phone with him and I asked him, he's like, well, unfortunately, no, because they will charge you interest if you don't pay it on a regular basis. I said, okay, well, can we file like the bare minimum? and he goes, let me look at your taxes and I'll let you know what you can do. That would not have been even in my mindset probably 5-10 years ago. Like I'm just looking at things now. I'm like, okay, how can I invest it? How can I generate the funds so it makes more money? I have my money is accumulating, and then I could take that interest or whatever and pay. So
Yeah.
my brain is now looking at things differently. And this, I'm telling you, for the audience's knowledge, this was not my mindset. Like I said, 5-10 years ago. I would say not even 2 years ago. Like I've listened to people who have money and what they do and how they think about it. And then also there's the spiritual side. Money's energy. I can attract as much money as I want. Then there's the belief systems that can cause hiccups in receiving the money, or you might receive it, but you get rid of it right away, which is my MO. Get rid of it right away because I don't know how to handle it. So then when you take it and look at it as, what if money was an actual person and you said, I got to get rid of you because I don't know how to handle you. Like it's
Exactly.
like, so my brain thinks about all these things that I've been learning, and I'm like, wow, I'm not a very good friend of money, so I need to change that. So
100%.
it's a very interesting process.
It is. I like it though. And I think everybody else is probably going to get a kick out of it too. I mean, and I'll go back to Kyle Cease again, because he's talked about
Yeah.
same, you know, the relationship with money and how we put it on a pedestal. And it's like we almost, in a lot of ways, the opposite side of things, we almost put it where it's out of reach all the time.
Yep.
And whatever does come into reach, that's what we've allowed to trickle in, to be quite honest with you. And I love how your experiences and everything has changed, that it's presenting opportunities for you to think differently and to ask these questions, because even though you've asked your CPA this, it may not be your CPA that gives you the answer. You've put a question out there basically to the universe through your CPA, and now the universe is going to show you all the different ways of
Yeah.
managing it or creating more from what you have.
Yep.
It's beautiful.
And I just have to say, it is a mindset shift. Huge. Mindset is huge. So if you're again going back to, if you are focused on what the wealthy is doing, it doesn't do anything for you. It does absolutely zero for you. You can sit and watch TikTok or the Facebook or any of them and complain and point the finger and judge and blame and everything. But that person being wealthy has nothing to do with where you're at with your own finances.
Yeah, displaced unhappiness. I don't even know if that's all the right terminology, but that's, I mean, you're blaming somebody else for your situation as if them paying more is going to help you,
Right.
help me, help, you know
Right.
what I mean?
Not. The government gets
It,
the money.
yes, it's just the person's upset, so they want to blame somebody, right? And that's, we've seen that a lot in a lot of things. Someone has to take the fall for this because it wasn't me.
Right.
Guess what, people? It was freaking me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it is, that's
Here's
the way it is with all of us.
and here's so this is this and I like it just dropped into my head just now because I didn't even think about this till right now is for years, as far as I can remember being a little girl, for years, the wealthy need to pay more taxes has been the argument, right? For decades. Okay. Now, and I'm not doing this to get political, just so you know, but the fact that now we have somebody who is looking into where the money is going and finding all kinds of avenues of fraud and mismanagement of funds. And we're trillions of dollars in debt, but yet they want the wealthy, the common people want the wealthy to pay more taxes. It ain't going to matter because it was all fraudulent. Like all this money is being wasted and it wouldn't have mattered how much they paid. And you think that if they paid more, the United States would get out of debt, can't get out of debt because it's going to avenues that are fraudulent and money laundering and all the things. It wouldn't have helped anyway. So
Yeah.
it's and even that is a mindset of, well, focusing on they need to pay more.
Yeah.
So quite interesting.
It is. It is. And in general, when we talk about energy, a lot of times it's that when you think about that, a lot of people don't know how to manage their money. And
That's right.
we're also looking to other people, yeah, to tell us how to manage their money. But now we're finding out how they've been managing their money. So that energy has been there for a long time, right?
Right.
It really has. It's been a very, very, very long time.
Oh,
It's not recent.
So this gets me excited now that you said that in that way is look how much is being taught about financial responsibility.
Yeah.
So if there is so much attention, this just came to me, if there is so much attention on learning money management and doing better on an individual level, that collectively puts the energy to our government to want to look into us where our money has been going and to get that in order of good money management.
Yeah.
So it has, I would have to say it's like starting with us who are tired of being in debt and working paycheck to paycheck and not feeling like we're getting ahead. Now we're looking at what can I do differently because this is exhausting and I'm, whenever retirement for whoever, I think I'm going to do this till I take my last breath. But anyway, people are looking at retirement, realizing they don't, what are they going to do? What are they going to do when they're no longer working? They got to keep working. That's what they've been doing. So, and then we have all these people who have come forward who have been in debt, got out of it, now are teaching it. There's thousands of people teaching that. Thousands of people teaching how to get out of debt and how to be a good steward of money. And since it's a collective thing and so much attention is on that, is shifting the energy, which would shift what's happening for our own country. And
yep, you gave me goosebumps before you even said the country thing. Already gave me goosebumps because it was all that has created the shift. 100% awesome.
So good.
It is so good.
That wasn't something I just like literally just started that just like whoop, this is what's creating now in your nation.
Yeah.
We'll go figure.
Again.
So when I'm glad I'm getting goosebumps today.
I'm telling you, because that's my truth. That's my
Yeah,
odometer. It tells me that I know when someone says something else that it's, it's the truth. It is the way that
yeah,
it is. And that gives me, I rely on that more than I'm going to rely on what I hear from the news or what I hear from
right.
anything else. I'll take that to the bank.
Yeah, yeah. And that like it gets me excited because when we talk about collective energy, then that's just a prime example of what's happening. And it's happening before our eyes. Like it's unfolding right now. The
It
more
is.
I think about being a good steward of my money that's coming into me that I'm going to work for, or I'm doing coaching sessions for, or I'm teaching classes for, how can I do this better? How can I have a better relationship with money? That is contributing to a higher level of financial abundance. And so it's not just for me, it's for my neighbor, it's for my coworkers, it's for the people in the other state. Like it's energy. And this is what people at some point hopefully will understand. Everything is energy. And we,
Yeah.
on an individual basis, what we do affects everything collectively.
And the higher we fly with that vibrational frequency, the more that we influence.
Yeah. Dang. That was so good.
It was
Holy
so good.
smokes, that was so good. That was a good one.
I
So
like it.
go back and listen to this one because this was really good. I think I've been saying that after every video because Bev's
It's
getting the
true.
goosebumps, man. You better go listen to this again.
I'm telling you, I'm serious about that stuff.
Yep.
It's just been proven to me way too many times, way too many times.
Yeah.
I can't turn I listen to the intuition and the body chills or the body bumps or the goosey or whatever you want to freaking call them. They have all kinds of
Yep.
miraculous names out there for everything.
So we could run off with this, but we're going to end this because go watch the next video because I'm going to bring up another experience I had. So I'm going to leave you hanging. That's the cliffhanger.
That's right.
So we want to say thank you for hanging out with us, Tea Time with Amy and Bev. We know you could be doing anything else with your life and you spend it with us. So we appreciate you, whether you listen for 10 minutes or the entire session. Great. Be sure to be brave and courageous and have these conversations with your friends, family, coworkers, and the person in the grocery line, because these are becoming common conversations. And there are people who could benefit from what you're learning. And it, to me, it feels good to help others. So you could just be a voice of a resource. So just share the links, share the books, share the teacher that you're listening to, and be the bridge. You don't have to go teach, but you can be the bridge of information. So that's what we ask, and to be and do better within yourself. So you show up to be and do better collectively. It's a work in progress. We're not perfect. We're working on it too. Do you have any
That's
final
right.
words, Bev?
Make all your moments magical. That's what
Oh,
I've got.
I love it. Love that. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Podcast Addict. We're in many platforms. So check us out, share us, and stay tuned for the cliffhanger. Got a story. See you in the next video. Thanks for hanging
Bye.
out with us. Tea Time with Amy and Bev.
Bye.